Oh my God! It surprised me, folks. We are live. Welcome to the Talking Crit live stream. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, and with me, as always, on Wednesdays, is none other than Bad Mike Battlado.
Welcome to 2024. And I think it's always funny that everybody's like, man, I am so glad fill in the blank year is over. They always say that. Nobody ever says, that was a great year. And I just don't want to leave year fill in the blank. Have you ever heard anybody say that, Eric? Ever? Where they said,
Mm,
this is just the greatest year ever.
no,
And I,
no, I haven't. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even. I listen. I just use years. The change of years.
I know, yeah.
It's like, oh, it'll be now 4 years since the year of hospitalization. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't even, when you get a certain age, it doesn't matter. New Year's Eve doesn't matter. By the way, I apologize. I did not join you guys for New Year's Eve, and I got a message from Tammy, and I was playing Xbox with my grandkids, and I lost
oh,
track of
okay.
time, and I was gonna pop on with you guys, and I just absolutely blew it. So sorry about that.
It's okay. We had
I
a good time.
yeah. I was like, my grandkids, whenever they pop on Xbox, I love to. The old guy loves to jump on with them and play games with
I
them because
don't
it's
blame you,
so
and it's a
you
good
know.
way to close out the year and bring in the new one with the Kinders.
Yeah,
So,
I a few years ago I bought an Xbox for myself and my youngest, or my oh no, I'm sorry, my oldest grandson at the time, and we really bonded over that. It's really fun, and so we played a lot of Xbox together. We still play Xbox together every once in a while. I don't have a large repertoire of games. I play I literally have Skyrim, Madden, Fallout 76, and Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's it. That's pretty much. I mean, I have a lot more games. I just don't play them. I don't have time.
right,
I don't have time, and
dude,
so
I don't have
if they
time.
ever jump on those games, I'll jump on with them, and we have a blast. And the funniest part is I've told stories before, but I apparently have a very young sounding voice. So when I get on there with either Jake or my other younger grandson Joel, everybody
Mhm.
thinks I'm like their brother or their friend, and they go, "Who's your friend?" That's my grandpa, and they laugh. Oh yeah, whatever. Like, no, that's really my grandpa. And so we have a lot of fun with that because they just do not believe I'm that old, which is cool. I mean, I need my ego stroked, so it
Yeah,
works out great. But yeah, so yeah, we had a little bit of Xbox stuff going on New Year's Eve because that's where I'm at in old person world. We don't really go to parties or drink. I
oh
know you
God,
guys are just
no.
kind of chilling out, and you guys don't do anything either, right? And just hang
I
out.
listen, when the pub was open, we'd go down maybe, and then we'd leave right after. Like, oh, we're gonna go before any trouble would strike out. But I'm not gonna drive anywhere because first
No,
off, I'm not
no,
gonna
not on New
drive,
Year's Eve
drink and
anymore.
drive. Ain't happening. And you know what? It's not. I could be sober. The number of assholes on the streets on New
Oh
Year's
dear
Eve,
God.
and I know this from my 20-year career.
Hell
Yeah,
yes.
no, I avoid it.
Oh yeah, we try to. There's certain nights like we don't go out on St. Patty's Day. We don't go out on New Year. I mean, drinking, literally drinking holidays. And now you know what? Halloween is a drinking holiday now. We don't go out on Halloween night.
Oh
We used to
yeah,
go out all the time, but man, people. Last time we went to a Halloween party, people were all over the road the way home. I mean, they had
I
left
would.
parties and they were just like, "Rah, I'm a skeleton," And so we were calling the cops on our phone, like, "Hey, there's a car in front of us." This is like 10 o'clock at night. It wasn't really late, so we try to stay inside during what we call drinking holidays.
I
Which,
don't blame
and
you.
I tell my grandkids too. I said, "Look, just don't do it." And so Jake said that he went to a party, and he was a designated driver, which is good, and which he's not supposed to be drinking anyway. He's 19, and he
Right.
said he goes, "Pop, I had so much fun laughing at all the guys that got drunk." I said, "Now that actually is fun because I've
It
done
is.
that before too,
So
where I'm the
high.
designated driver, and I'm just like totally just giving these guys the business because they're just loaded. And they're not going to remember anything, of course, when they wake up. So,
No.
uh,
Bob. Yes, the spices from Glenn's wife. They are awesome. You'll enjoy them. I stocked up. Rates
amen.
like you have to.
Bob says I stay home on amateur night. That's what we used to call it.
Yeah.
We would call it amateur night when I was even back in my drinking days because we drank every night of the week and like, oh, New Year's, that's where all the amateurs roll in, try to drink like 3 bottles of champagne because they think they're badass. So,
Yeah. Oh,
so what have we got here? We've got no guests. We've got Eric and I. We have no plan as normal.
plans. Plans are
Literally,
for
we
plans
literally
are
have no
for wins.
plans. We have nothing.
Wins have plans. Well, you don't need no speaking plans. We have a community.
So
So
yeah, we're gonna just riff off you guys tonight. I'm gonna probably gonna talk. I want to talk a little bit about the 50th anniversary tonight. I just thought of this because I do want to talk about last with all when we had everybody last week. We had that was fun. We had a
yeah.
great show last week, and Eric and I have already talked about. We're gonna do that again this year, maybe a couple more times because that was fun. That we had an absolute blast. I mean, when you have that many people on the show that know about gaming and that are that involved in gaming and they're all smart. Everybody we had on last week was just is just extremely intelligent. You know, Tommy and Don and Rob and Glenn and Joe. I mean,
Yep.
that's like a killer lineup of just really intelligent gamers. So that was great. But we'll do that again, definitely. But this week, so we're rolling into 2024. This is the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. I don't I don't have Rob or no, John Peterson's book handy. I'm not sure exactly when the brown box was tossed
Oh
out there.
yeah.
Maybe the summer. I don't know. It could have been earlier in the year anyway. But this is going to be interesting because I'm I don't expect a lot out of WotC for 50th anniversary. Do you? I mean, do you expect anything? I mean, I expect a little bit. They're going to do something, but what do you expect out of them for 50th anniversary? What are they going to actually celebrate?
Well, okay. So according to Google, the the box released in January.
Wow. Okay, so we are
That was
firmly in the 50th anniversary.
first printed in late January, although they were not publicly available until the second quarter. So they were printed. So I guess what he's going to say second quarter. So
Yeah.
that's why we're getting the new, not new edition in May, scrub May. We never said May, but it could be May. But
Hopefully
we,
before Gen Con, because if they miss Gen Con, this thing's an absolute disaster. Which I don't know. It might be a disaster anyway. I'm almost tired of bashing these guys. Are you getting tired of bashing them, Eric? I'm getting tired of this. I want to move on to something else, but they've made themselves a story all through 2023. They made themselves a story, and we had to talk about them because we could not avoid them. And
you
I'm just ready for them to move on. Just move on. Get out of my way. Let other people take the spotlight. Just move.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
don't have to be. Listen, just like they gave up, like entering the Ennies, you can give up on this too. You don't have to always win
Yes.
this week in gaming stupid. Oh no, we'll just rename it Watchy stupid. That's it. That's it. By
Just
the way,
move on. It's
Dandelion.
like
We'll
you're
put
in a
a
line.
question later. That's a good
You're in a
question.
line at an amusement park, and there's this big fat guy ahead of you. I can say that because I'm a big fat guy. There's a big fat guy ahead of you that's a slovenly pig, and he's saying racist and misogynistic remarks to everybody, and he's like stinks because he hasn't taken a bath, and he's eating an ice cream cone that's just dripping all over his face, and he's in front of you in line. You got to stare at him the whole time you're slowly going through the line. That's what I feel like with WotC. It's like the whole year I've had to look at this slovenly, ridiculous dude just shambling around, and they won't get out of my way. I'm like, just move, and that's where I'm at. Just move, WotC. 50th anniversary. I don't want to hear from you again. Just roll on after that because this may be the beginning of the end for their influence on the gaming world in the way we think. Because if they're moving away from print, which we suspect,
Right.
we suspect that, and we have a lot of evidence that kind of backs us up on this. If they're moving away from print, then I think it's going to work out great for everybody. Because let the Shadowdarks and the OSEs and the Tales from the whatever. Let those guys have the spotlight finally. Let the Matt Finches and the Kelseys and the Gavin Normans and the Joe Blocks. Let those guys, the Rob Conleys, let them take the stage finally and move on out. You go do your VTTs, go do your online gaming stuff. That's great. You can have that world. That will be an awesome world. Make more cool computer games like Baldur's Gate 3. Go do that. That's something maybe you're good at. Licensing material to other people. And then just let us have D&D, let us have the OSR, and we'll keep it alive, and we'll keep the game, sitting around a table with a bunch of dudes gaming, dudes and chicks gaming. So anyway, so that's what my wish for 2024 is that it just passes away, and then 2025 we wake up and we're like, no more 50th anniversary. Let's just do fun stuff. We gotta go through this. We're gonna have to go through this year. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Well,
not only that, I mean, and the elephant in the room is we're gonna have a highly contentious, presidential election at the end of the year too, which is that's gonna beat us down. Absolutely beat us down. So
listen, if somebody was giving Vegas odds, I wonder what the Vegas odds would be for neither of the leading candidates from either party actually running in the general election. Because it's
and two 80-year-old people that were born during World War II. Is this really what we want for our nation? Is to have to really? God, give me, Can we get a young, vital 60-year-old? I mean, I hate to say that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Can we get a 60-year-old? Somebody that's not gone yet. So yeah, I'm already finished with that. I'm through with that. I'm not dealing with that all year. I don't care. And I already told my wife if I'm not voting for anybody over 80, I don't care what their political party is. I don't care who's running against them. I just won't vote for an 80-year-old. I'm sorry, just not going to happen. So I may sit this one out, Eric. I may sit 2024 out and just roll on past that. I'm and then the WotC 50th anniversary, I may sit that out too, Eric, because I don't.
You don't want the John Peterson book? Come on, that's the.
I want the John Peterson book because John Peterson's great. I mean, but I don't want to give any more money to WotC at all. And the problem is, I guess WotC is going to get some money from that. So unless I can find it secondhand, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to give WotC another cent for anything.
Come on, you want to play the VTT?
No, I don't. Not at all. Not one bit. I don't even want to play Baldur's Gate 3. Because I don't like, I decided what I don't like about Baldur's Gate 3. I was thinking that I wanted to get it because everybody's getting it.
Right.
But I don't like third-person games anymore. All the games I play, I just told you all the games I play, they're all first-person, pretty much. Even Madden pretty much is a I mean, you're behind the quarter, but you're running the quarterback. But I don't really like third-person games anymore. That's very 90s to me, I want first-person gaming, so... I'm probably not going to deal with that.
By the way, folks, there is a link on the bottom of the screen. It goes to the GoFundMe for Ben Shields. That's I believe the eldest son of James Shields, a huge member of our community. That's his artwork directly behind me for the still unreleased Continual Light new print. James's work is amazing. And he's been
on the show. We had him on the show several times. He's a frequent guest in North Texas. He's drawn our last 3 logos, and unimaginable. I can't even imagine the pain of a son committing suicide. I just, it's unimaginable. I can't even pretend to know what he's going through. So we're the community's helping him out. We're collecting money for funeral expenses. I think we're already over $6,000. But if you could just drop $20, $25 in there, that would help. But because what his family's going through now, like I said, I just can't even. It's unimaginable. I don't even know what to say or do or anything except that James has our love and our thoughts and prayers, and that's all we can do. But if you could throw $20 in there, at least $20, that would be great. Eric matched the first $250 from Tavern people, which is awesome, Eric.
I did that earlier tonight. The Tavern's been extremely generous. This community is always very generous. Mm-hmm. There's also a number on the screen. It's the suicide hotline, pound 988. You can also text that number.
Hmm.
Listen, if you're in the States, if you're having any thoughts of self harm, reach out. Reach out. And if
Definitely.
not to that number,
Yeah.
to a friend, a relative. I mean, listen, thanks to Don tomorrow, we're putting up a Gamers Health website. It's going to have forums. It's going to have other websites and phone numbers for you and your family in times of need, where to go. Uh, it takes a community to heal a community, and
Just
really,
and the great thing about these hotlines are, a lot of times you just need that one person to talk to that's going to tell you, look, it's you will be missed, and it's going to hurt the people you leave behind so horribly. They're
yes,
not going to be able to deal with it. That's what always happens. Is the people left behind are just absolutely devastated because they're all they do is second guess themselves the rest of their life. What could I have done differently? What could I have said? What could I, you know? And yeah, so definitely, if you're having any issues, please use the hotline.
yeah,
It's just like I said, I can't imagine what James is going through, and he has all our thoughts right now. It's just, and what a terrible way to begin 2024. This happened New Year's Eve. This is just it's just, and then you have to think about New Year's Eve the whole time. That's what you're going to remember the rest of
yeah,
your life. Just awful, awful. So I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, except that please just if you could drop 10, $20 in there, that would help. Anything would help. So
yeah. You know what? I think from the people that, and I knew in my career, a number of people knew them personally who made the final decision and made a decision that was, in my opinion, the wrong one. Um, we almost universally had no support system. These were people that had nobody to reach out to and nobody to listen to them and nobody to support them. So um, don't 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 find yourself in that position. Okay.
yeah, because I mean look, Eric and I are gonna miss you. I mean, if nothing else, we don't want to miss you, and we will. Everybody that we talk to, and we Eric and I have lost so many people in the last couple of years in
Yep.
the community. We every time I just saw the other day that I barely knew him, but Patrick Beimer passed away. He was a guy I sold some stuff to in RPG auctions. He was going to come to North Texas next year. He was going to go to GaryCon next year. He's, I believe, in Sweden. He's overseas, and he was going to bring his daughter. He asked if he could bring his kids to North Texas. I said sure. He's like, what games could they play? I said they can play anything. They were like more older. I think they were in their teens. So I was like, oh yeah, yeah, we'd love to have them. And craziest story ever. He had cancer and it just went boom, 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 died. I mean that just no, not like Doug Ray, who we were very, very glad to have him for 5 years after he had stage 4 colon cancer. Patrick passed away very quickly, and it sucks. So I was like, crap. That's what a way to end 2023. Not knowing
Yeah.
that it could be worse, and it is. So yeah, we hate losing people in the community. Please, any thoughts of anything, just please use the number below. We do not want to miss people in the community like that.
Oh, I did not realize that, Dave.
Wow,
Brian.
Brian Ansell. Oh my gosh, I did not know that. Uh, I did not know Brian. I'll have to look that one up because I did not hear about that at all.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's a shock too.
Yeah,
That's an
he was an older man. I mean, he's probably my wife's age, so I mean, or a little younger than a little older than my wife. But wow, he was yeah, he was that's the Warhammer guy, right?
yep.
Yeah, he was instrumental in Warhammer. Wow, which is a multi-bazillion-dollar industry at this point, So, golly, that is quite a loss, and we're going to see this a lot in the next few years, right? I mean, these none of these guys are getting younger; they're all getting older. A lot of them have health problems. It's going to suck. The next few years, it's really going to suck
Yeah.
because it's we're going to lose all these voices, which is very important. Which is why it's very important if you have ever thought about going to convention, go to conventions. Meet these guys, talk to them. They're not going to be here forever, and I am so glad the friendships I've developed among some of the original old school guys, and the friendships I've developed with other gamers too. But meeting a lot of these people who were my heroes growing up has been an amazing experience.
Uh-oh. Uh,
Oh dear,
Greg,
my
Greg is
volume.
gonna Greg is gonna critique you.
My volume. Okay. Let's. Oh, you know what? I think I can boost my volume. Now you know that you know how things work with me, right? Because I'm just liable to blow something up. Let's see here. I thought I saw the volume. I'm not
I
seeing
don't
it
know.
now. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we go. Audio. Oh, it was down a little. It's down a little bit. Okay, it's boosted as high as it can go now. So we'll see if that helps at all.
But now I'd be like, oh my God, Mike's in the next
Oh,
room with me.
Eric. I need to turn
Oh,
Eric down. Eric's loud. There we go. Pump
pump
up the
up the volume.
volume.
By the
Dance.
way, I
Dance.
I love the soundtrack to that movie. That was
Mm-hmm.
my soundtrack back then.
Oh yeah.
Pump up the
So
volume.
so yeah. So we are going. So 50th anniversary. I don't really care what they do. I don't think, from what I've heard, they're going to release some stuff. But they see, and this bothers me, Eric. So one of the big things that should have been happening in 2024, instead of them shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again, is they should have been preparing for this and getting us all excited about it and saying, look, here's what we got coming next year. You are not going to believe what we got going. I mean, isn't this what you would expect, right, of a 50th anniversary? You would not believe we got going to have happen next year. It's going to be amazing, and get everybody all excited, like, oh man, this is going to be great. I, huh? Nothing. What? Nothing. I mean, crickets. What do we got? Do we have any confirmation for really anything big going on this year, except that they're going to release a special edition module or adventure? It's going to harken back to Lost Caverns of Sokanth, which it's par for the course because they have no original ideas. All they do is
Right.
every 3 years they re-release the Giants or Tomb of Horrors or Ghost Tower or whatever, because they have no original ideas. They can't create classics anymore. All the people they hate, all the old white guys that created this stuff that they can't stand, they keep going back to that well. Like, oh, we don't know. Let's just do White Plume Mountain again, because we don't know what we're doing. And so this year, I don't. Has anybody heard their plans? Have you heard anything, Eric? Am I
Well,
missing
we
something?
know that they're releasing the core books in like May 15th, 16th, but then we don't know that because then they erased that and did the Jedi mind trick. It's like
Yeah,
you did not know when these books are releasing. But I just saw it on. You did not know when these books are releasing. But you did not know when these books are. All right. I get the hint. You bastard.
yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Hey, it's good to see Frank. I'm glad Frank's at the PhillyCon this weekend. So that's going to be awesome. I'm glad Frank's getting out some more. Frank's had some issues, and I think this is going to be good for him. This is going to be cool. Look, if you have a chance to meet Frank at a convention and talk to him, do it. Definitely do it. The guy is a part of D&D history. He remembers all kinds of stuff. He's a great special guest, and he will. I think he'll have a. If you talk to him at PhillyCon, you'll love it. You'll love to talk to him. He's got some great stories. Just a really nice guy. So yeah, go. That's. I'm glad that Frank's going to be at PhillyCon. That's
yeah,
awesome.
really nice guy as long as your name is not Tenkar.
Well, but you and him kind of made up a little bit, kind of, sort of.
No, no.
No,
Well,
you didn't. Okay.
when I was hospitalized for my like 3.5 weeks, he actually had a comment that I wish him no good health. I was like, oh, thank you.
Well,
You could have just
that's great.
said nothing.
And
But
you
hey,
did nothing. You did nothing except report the facts of stuff that was going
yes,
on. So yes,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. But
Mm, mm, mm.
I'm sorry, I can't. The idea that some I don't know 6 young house guests did impersonated somebody and then
It was a
uh,
weird story.
it's a
Yeah,
weird ass story.
it's a weird story. I mean, you could find the details probably somewhere online, but it's Frank's fall from grace is weird. It's just odd, but
Yeah.
if he's got his problem solved, maybe he's been doing better. And like I said, if he's going to cons, that's awesome. I'm glad for him.
Well,
And
maybe
like I said,
maybe installed a VPN, and then next time this happens, it can't go back to him. I don't know.
if he's there, if he's there, go up and say hi to him. And like I said, he's a once he gets talking, he has some stories. He has some great stories. So
Once Frank
uh,
gets talking, you may need to chew your arm off if you need to leave and do something like, I don't know, a bio break or something like that. No, but Frank's stories are really good, actually. I
yeah.
mean, you get some insights into the history of this community, this of gaming, tabletop RPGs, and I have to say that because people in this world now go RPG. Oh, you mean like Baldur's Gate? No, go fuck yourself.
We're talking
Not
about
like
real,
Baldur's
yeah,
Gate.
real RPGs. Yeah,
Real
not the computer.
RPGs, okay?
Yes.
Not where you're having sex with men in bear form or something like that.
It's just a choice, though. You can make that. You could not make that choice too. So it's all
Oh
up to
my
you.
god. I had one of my old college group. We still communicate via email and get together once a year. And one of my friends is like, "Hey, who could tell me about Baldur's Gate 3? I'm hearing it's really cool, and I got a little downtime on my job. I'm thinking I might check it out." So I was like, I'm hearing from others that it's actually a lot of fun. Just as if you still have your kids around the house, you may want to skip the cutscenes about like the
Hmm.
bear sex and shit. But then
Just yeah.
another friend of mine piped in, and instead of my like short like 4 or 5 sentences, gave like 4 or 5 page review,
Oh boy.
and this was one of those love hate reviews where it's probably the best computer RPG game I've ever played, and at the same time, the most offensive game I've ever had to sit in front of. I was like, "Ooh, all right, I can't
That's
come
an
close to this
interesting
one."
combo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the original
so
Baldur's Gate was the best game I ever played until Skyrim. I mean, it was
yeah.
so that came out whatever I don't know 96, 97. I didn't play another game I thought that was that incredible until Skyrim in 2010 or whatever that came out. So yeah, it's the original Baldur's Gate's amazing. No, the second one wasn't that great, but the original one was incredible.
Go for the
And then
eyes,
this
boo. Go
appears
for the eyes.
and this apparently is yes, this is getting just incredible. So it's not an exaggeration, Eric, to say this game saved WotC this year.
Oh my god.
This is the only real win they had this year. They had a string of losses. I mean, the movie did not do as well as, I mean, although Eric and I both liked the movie. I mean, it just didn't do as well as they thought it would do. They had one screw up after another all year. I don't think anything they came out with sold well, but the Baldur's Gate the game did great. You won so many Game of the Year awards, and it's not an exaggeration to say it saved the company. I mean, they were looking at some really bleak times if they had not had this game coming out. Now, here's what's the funny thing is, they're not having a game come out this year. They're not having Baldur's Gate 4 is not coming out this year, so they've
Probably
got to
not
do
coming
it on
out
their
for a
own.
number of
And
years.
yeah, and they've showed that they don't have a real good ability to really think about anything on their own. So I don't know. This year may be the opposite of last year in that case. So
Well, look at it this way: which WotC employee had great input on Baldur's Gate 3? Mike
Mike
Merle.
Mearls, yeah,
So what did
quite
they
big.
do? Hey, here's your pink slip. Enjoy your life.
Well, because they didn't need him once it came out. Plus, we were just joking, but it's true. I mean, there's no. I mean, Baldur's Gate 4, if it ever comes out, which I'm sure it will now, so this made so much money. We're talking what 7 years, 5 years. I mean, these things take forever to develop.
Yes.
They just take forever. Well, we'll see a bunch of DLCs probably before that, but yeah, it's just it's going to take forever. So why we don't need these guys? We don't need them because we're not doing another game for a long time. So
Well,
I don't know.
you know what they could do? They could just do a DLC that just takes all the sex scenes in that game and puts it into a movie.
You're really obsessed with the bear sex, aren't you?
No,
In this
not just the
game.
bear sex.
Okay. Oh,
When
other things too.
I read that review from my friend, I was just like, how much is in this game that is totally,
It's
uh,
not for children. Yeah, it's not for
yeah,
children at all. I've heard. Yeah, it's definitely not for children. There's some absolute, PG-13 plus R stuff in here that you got to watch the kids want to play that. So
Ah, Bob G. Ad revenue from their TV shows. You just. Who can find? They can't even find their TV shows.
well, by the way, Eric, I was going to tell you this. I never found the shows. I looked. I have Roku. I have the channel, whatever. I looked and I looked and I looked, Eric. I could not find the shows. I tried. I tried as hard as I could.
What was it
I
like?
found the channel. I found everything. I could not find these shows. And if it's that hard to find, I'm not gonna. Why am I wasting my time? I must have wasted half an hour trying to find these shows. Could not find these shows. So I'm done with that. I'm done.
Okay.
So that's great marketing, guys. Make it so somebody who wants to watch these just to see them is not able to find them. It should be much easier to find your shows.
Much easier.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Greg, WotC is dropping the tabletop aspect and moving online. My wife suggested that we start some non-profit orgs that run Shadowdark games in the late afternoon for kids as a form of extracurricular activity.
Shadowdark's awesome, and the one thing I've seen that's making me all happy is that everybody's getting their Shadowdark
Oh my God!
hard copies in, and you're gonna see, okay. So I'm one of the the band Velvet Underground came with an album called, their first album was called Velvet Underground with Nico, and it did not sell well. It did not sell well, but the story about it is it only sold 1,000 copies, but everybody who bought a copy formed their own band. It was such an influential album.
Really?
Lou Reed, I mean, everybody that was on there. I think that we're looking at with Shadowdark. Everybody that's buying a copy of Shadowdark is starting a Shadowdark campaign. I mean, pretty soon you're going to have Shadowdark everywhere. It's going to be It's going to be a Shadowdark world because, I think that's great because even if you don't play, I mean, look, it's a great stepping off point. I mean, look, let's say you play 5e and you want something different. Shadowdark is basically, it's something, it's 5e, but it's got a little extra.
Right.
If you don't play 5e, you don't need to know 5e to play Shadowdark. You guys played Shadowdark, remember?
Yeah.
You had your little,
But the only 5e-ism really is the advantage disadvantage. That's really the largest part of that. And by the way, in a week and a half, Greg Christopher is going to be running Shadowdark on this channel on that week and a half on a Friday night.
What?
Yes, I don't know, Mike. I don't know if you want to be
Wow.
invited to this. I don't think
I would like to watch. I don't think I'm gonna
Okay.
show up for that. Yeah, I don't.
But,
Great.
oh, yeah.
No. I'm just kidding. That's gonna be great.
Oh,
That's gonna be great.
yeah.
Now that is gonna be awesome because that's where I first started loving Shadowdark, was watching you guys play it and going, you know what? These are kind of cool rules.
Yep.
Greg explained them to you guys, and you guys are like, like this is kind of cool. Because I was like going to tune in and laugh that you guys were having to play 5e and it sucked and this and that, and I'm like going, no, this is pretty cool. Torches, and if the light goes out, really bad stuff happens, and I'm like, I kind of like this game. I kind of like it. And that's where I started delving a little deeper. Like, whoa, I really like this game.
So now I from the Kickstarter, this is the limited cover edition or whatever.
Yeah, you got the better one than I did. I got the regular one, I think. Hold on.
This is my precious, and you can't have it. However, during that game, we are going to be giving away Mike's standard copy.
Is this the same or different than yours?
That's the
green
same.
cover?
No,
Okay.
yeah, that's the limited.
Oh, okay, I got the same one than you. Okay, yeah.
Right.
It's a beautiful, beautiful book. God, and look, the part I like the best. Oh my God, look how big the writing is. I can see it with my old terrible eyes.
See, the green
Love
one
it.
is thicker than the regular edition because the paper is a higher
Oh,
quality.
it smells good too.
You see how
It smells like booky. It smells like books. I love it.
so Mike, you see how the standard is bigger
Oh
than
my goodness. Good gracious.
The standard is smaller than the limited. The limited is much larger. So my limited is still in wrap, and somebody will get it in a week and a half.
So this Dungeon Master screen, I'm gonna pop it out so you can see it. It could stop a bullet.
Oh yeah, it is nice.
It is amazing. God, I can't get it open. My new.
It's like an unboxing.
Yeah, this is our old man untearing, because we have to tear off the cellophane, which takes as long as anybody else would take out
Ooh,
a box.
uh, Greg is
Come on,
marking
brother.
down his Shadow Sun setting for Shadowdark to
By the
$4 in
way,
PDF.
highly recommend it. So, oh my god, look at this thing,
Yeah, it is awesome. I'm gonna use
incredible.
it.
It is.
I'm gonna use that for every game I run. I don't care, Shadowdark or not.
My god. Yeah. So I don't want to skip that. Greg's Shadow Dark setting is thumbs up. I am not a Dark Sun fan at all. I mean, I knew what it was and saw it come out. I read some of the stuff, didn't like it. I love the Shadow Sun. It is he does a great job. And this is unsolicited praise. I mean, Greg didn't slip me a fiver or anything. I
But he
read
could have.
I downloaded. I don't know if he sent the downloads to me or if I got them or not. I can't remember. He might have sent them. I think he sent them to me, and I read them, and I was blown away because it's Dark Sun, but it's a darker. I mean, Dark Sun's already pretty dark. I mean, it's got
Right.
slavery. It's got bad stuff. His is kind of grim dark. It's pretty grim dark, but it's playable. You don't have to know anything about the original Dark Sun setting. Um, it's just a really different setting. It's not your typical Tolkien or Conan-ish fantasy, and I was really impressed with it. If you like Dark Sun at all, check out Shadow Sun. His products, they sold really good. Every time I would look there when they went up, they were one of the top sellers when they first came out. So yeah, definitely check out Shadow Sun. It's really good take on Dark Sun. I think he does a really good job.
So.
Oh, here's the other stuff. I got the Cursed Scroll 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah, I have two
Um,
copies of 3, so I guess
yeah,
I
you're
have
gonna give
to.
one away, right?
I'm
And
gonna
then
give it
some
away.
character sheets, monster stuff. It's just what an incredible package here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Good job, Kelsey.
Yeah, she
And yeah, they
she
did a
did. She
great
outdid
job.
herself. She really did. Really.
Kelsey and her wife are. I mean, they're amazing people. I got to see them again at Gamehole Con, and just great people. You love to see those kind of people have a win.
Yep.
That's who you want to see have all the good luck in the world. Not the WotCs. We laugh at
Not the
WotC because WotC,
Watsi.
yeah, not the Microsoft execs and people who run WotC who are have never played D&D, but they say, oh yeah, I played a game of D&D 19 years ago when my brother was at the table and I rolled up with cleric. I mean, that's basically their experience with role playing games.
Right.
They don't know it, they don't understand it, they don't like it, they don't care. They're after the money. So yeah, you like to see people like that, like like Joe Block. I mean, Rob Conley, our buddies. You like to see, Greg. You like to see these people succeed. And
Yep.
and look, the OSR is not going anywhere. It's stronger than ever. Anybody that says the OSR is dying or dead is an idiot. They have not paid any attention to what's been going on in Kickstarter world the last year or so. And they don't know what they're talking about because the OSR is alive and kicking and doing and very healthy.
Yeah, I've been enjoying way too much of my old school gaming. And actually, we had a Joe's game. It should have been this week. Yesterday, we booted it to next week because it's still the holidays. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
it backs everything up, kind of.
By the way, we had my group met for our year end game December 30th, and we were running Draw Deep. We had session 7, I believe. We tried to get together 1 month or once a month the whole year, and so 7 out of 12 is not bad. I mean, we
Yeah.
missed mostly we missed the summer because it was a beating. I take it back. I don't think we started till March, so we probably only missed 2 or 2 months, but we had a blast. They were using second edition D&D, AD&D, because that's what everybody wanted to do, so we did that. And basically, it's just D&D. We don't even look in the books ever for rules. We just don't look at the books. Every once in a while, if I need a stat or something, I think we had to look up an arrow distance. How far does an
Right.
arrow go? But I had to make up something like, okay, How much is fire an arrow from a horse? I was like, we'll just say it's -3 because they're riding their war boars, the dwarves, and
Okay.
they were trying to fire crossbows, and we're trying to figure out what's the. And we're like, let's just say -2, whatever. That's what's so great about D&D. Just make up a rule, right?
Right.
Everybody was okay with that. Yeah, -2 sounds good. Yeah, we're jumping around this and that, but they had everybody in the party is third and fourth level. I let them choose your adventure this time because it was year end. I said we're just going to do a side adventure. We're not going to. They're going to enter the East Gate of Dwarl next time we start adventuring in February.
Okay.
And they chose to go on this little to go to the. There's a place called the Lost Vale, I think, and basically it's an area where there's this giant battle fought. And there's a bunch of tombs, and they were going to look for a tomb of this famous dwarven warrior and take his dwarven artifacts. And so they go there, and he had like a gauntlet. Supposedly he carried gauntlets of ogre power, magical battle axe, all this stuff. So like, oh yeah, we're into that. We need to get that stuff because I've been very magic stingy in this campaign.
Right.
They're lucky if they get a plus. They're third, fourth level. They barely have enough +1 weapons to even go around. The mages have nothing because this is a dwarven centric party, so the mages are really screwed. And so they said, yeah, we're going to raid this tomb. So they go to the tomb. It turns out there's a black dragon that has a lair on top of the mound with the tomb. And so I'm sitting there going, okay, well, it's like a young adult black dragon. I'm like, there's no way they get past that. There's no way they can fight it. They're
Right.
going to have to figure out a way to get around it. No, they're like, no, we're going to kick that dragon's ass. And I'm like, you realize? And so they got inside the tomb. They snuck in the tomb. They got the treasure, and they said, we're going to kill the dragon. I said, do whatever you want. So I'm sitting there going, okay, TPK coming up. So they thought of a great plan where they had to kill the dragon in 5 rounds. They had all these protection spells and buff spells and potions, whatever, but it was all contingent on they had to kill this dragon in 5 rounds. Because once 5 rounds were up, they're screwed. Because
Right.
all this they're low enough level that all the spells start, you know, stop. The bless spells are gone, the prayer spells, the protection from acid spells, they're all gone after about 5 rounds. You know what? They killed that damn dragon in 5 rounds, Eric.
Damn.
It was 104 hit points. Dragon, they're third and fourth level characters.
Ooh.
They had a
Ooh.
extremely because these are guys that all been gaming for like 30, 40 years. They
Right.
came up with a distraction to distract the dragon because they'd captured some orcs earlier. They sent them out on a horse. The dragon slammed on the horse and killed them all. so
Oh,
so that worked perfectly. So they got one round of surprise as the dragon, he sees these 2 orcs tied up riding on a horse through his land. He jumps, flies in the air, boom, comes down and kills him. They have 5 rounds. And damn it, if they didn't kill that dragon in 5 rounds. And I'm playing 2E dragons. I don't know if you played 2E dragons. Much, much more dangerous than 1E dragons. They have magic resistance. They have, this guy was armor class 0, 13 hit die. It was incredible. And so they were patting themselves on the back at the end. I was like, you guys deserve it. I thought you guys, I had made it so they could sneak out. I figured they'd wait
Right.
till dark came and they were going to, they snuck in during the, cover of darkness. But no, they wanted to kill a freaking dragon. They're like, no, we are going to kill this black dragon, Anyway, I tell you this long story because I know people hate to hear stories about other people's parties. But I'm just saying that's what's so great about the OSR. We had a blast playing a game that's, this is a 2E game, so 1987, 88, whatever. We had a blast playing rule system that's 30 years old. And it just had but it didn't matter, Eric, because we weren't looking at the rule books the whole time.
Okay.
We were just playing the game. And I was making rules decisions on the fly. Do you think can this work? Whatever, this, that. Who's the dragon breathing at this time? We're just going to roll randomly. I mean, he's a dragon, and I play dragons that they're me because dragons to me are the apex predators. So I'm like, well,
Right.
he's smart enough to know who's doing the most damage to him. So he's going to attack that person. I'm not just going to randomly roll. We're going to go after the guy that's attacking now, and we just had a blast, man. And that's what I love about OSR. And look, if they had to kill that dragon in 5 rounds, it was going to get really ugly real quick. real ugly real quick. And so they, we're talking the thin line between Triumph and TPK. And as it was, that they only lost a henchman. They lost one henchman who got Dragon Breath right in the face. They managed to save him. He was down to like negative whatever, but I said
Right.
his face is pretty much melted off. He had a charisma of 14 to begin with. He came out of the swamp with a charisma of 7. I cut his charisma in half because it was pretty bad. He almost died, and so he was bad shape. And he said they're going, does it look bad? Does it look bad? They're like, no, you're okay, man, you're okay. They're like, oh my god, like I said, he looks like melted candle wax, I'm like, yeah, dude, you're fine. They're going, oh dear God, this guy's, but look, you're gonna break a few eggs when you make that omelet, right? But none of the characters, they came down. They had a couple guys with 2 and 3 hit points, and they managed to survive. So anyway, this is everything you love about OSR. Is that
Yes.
it's not, you're not superheroes. You're not guaranteed you're gonna live. You're not guaranteed you're gonna win. It's not MCDM where don't have to worry about rolling to hit. You automatically hit, dude.
It's hitting
It's
his
just how much
outpoint.
damage you're gonna do. Yeah, you don't have to roll to hit. That's crazy.
Everybody gets a prize.
Everybody gets a trophy. You're all gonna get a dragon head. You're all gonna kill a dragon by yourselves. With your left hand tied behind your back, or. So yeah, that was just. And look, they had a blast. They felt proud of themselves afterwards, which they should, because the plan was a really, really good plan. The way they had people running in, then run out, healing, and then they had some guys that were just there to heal the other guys, some guys that were there just to run and grab people if they fell down and pull them out. They knew that spells weren't going to really work too much against them, so the spellcasters were there just to grab people and yank them out of the line of fire, or to run up to them and give them a potion, or to heal them. It's just amazing. And that when you have a good D&D game like that, it's the best feling ever, Eric, isn't it? You get out of that game and you're just like all pumped up, because sometimes you have bad games, right? You have a game like everybody kind of sucked, nobody was hitting good, and it ended up being a slog, and the combat took too long, and the clears didn't really do what I wanted them to. But you have some days you get out there, you're like, wow, that was that was one of the best sessions I've run in years. It was just an amazing session. And I'm looking forward to more of that in 2024. I'm not looking forward to anything WotC's doing in 2024. And I hope that's everybody does. I hope there's a million Shadowdark games that start. I hope people keep playing OSE. I hope Tales of the Valiant takes off and people play Tales of the Valiant all day long.
Black Flag, damn it.
Yeah.
Tales of the Valiant. What a bruh.
Oh, look. Oh, no. I just saw an MCDM video. Apparently, the combat options get more powerful as the combat continues. Color me shocked, Eric.
Oh my gosh. More powerful. Heavens to Betsy.
Once again, your characters should not. I mean, look, you can play however you want, but I don't like characters as superheroes. I just don't like that. But so my sweet spot. I know some people, and Joe Block is probably in this whatever. They're just guy. Yeah, I think we talked about this. Three die 6 in order. Your strength is an 8. You're a fighter, whatever. I think so. My whole thing about characters in my D&D games is they're a little better than the average person. They're not. They're okay. But they're like Luke Skywalker. But Luke Skywalker was the farm boy, but it turns out he has Jedi powers, when he gets out there. I kind of look at my games like that. These guys are a little above the average. They're not. I mean, if you're average, you're just a henchman or Harley. You're not the hero. So I like to do it where they're just a little better than the average, but they're not that much better. They can still die. They still have consequences. Bad things can happen. And that's the way I like to play. So I don't get the games where you're a superhero and whatever. I mean, if that's how you like to play, I guess it's fine. I'm not gonna gripe about it too much.
Well, I guess we will.
Having
We're gonna gripe about it.
My hands really demonstrate how absolutely shitty the product design is by WotC. WotC could churn out 500 Curse Scroll booklets a year. They chose not to. Are we sure they could, Greg? Because they didn't seem to me like they did anything worth anything last year. Um, and I don't think they're interested in supporting product even anymore. But they're not interested in supporting print product anymore. It's just not. They've totally gone to where look we're going to put all our eggs in this basket at this point.
All their eggs in one basket. By the way, folks, I'm doing some behind the scenes prep in about 5 minutes. OSR Christmas, day 10. Yeah, I know there's still
We're
more shit
still
to give away.
but Christmas has already passed and we're still having OSR Christmas.
Wait.
How much?
Three Kings Day is the Feast of the Nativity, right? That's on Saturday, the 6th. So we got tonight, and then we're gonna have Friday night, and then we're gonna have Saturday.
Wow.
So yes, that'll be the 12 days.
But Bob says my favorite system is Warhammer. You know what? Warhammer is a sadly neglected system because it is a very interesting campaign world. Talk about grimdark, miserable.
Yep.
I was a big fan of the Warhammer fantasy books. Man, that's some moody, atmospheric crap there. I mean, that's not a happy, friendly world.
Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 1E was the first honest to God TPK. Except for one player, but it was the first time we ended a campaign on a TPK that I, as a DM, did not inflict. All right,
Boy.
it was a non DM inflicted TPK. We were the enemy within campaign, and it was going well. And
great campaign, classic. We
had about good 10, 11 sessions in, so the players were beginning to level. They were beginning to get powers and. The Wizard's apprentice is no longer just an apprentice. He was getting some spells, had some powers, but he still believed in the power of fire. And what he would do is he thought he was like a Mexican bandit, the bandito. And he had his
bandolier of oil.
Two. He wore them across his chest. So Skaven, the Ratmen, are coming out in the town that they are in. And his before he cast a fireball, he always went, "Oh, you do you?" And that was the warning for the party members to step back.
Duck and cover. Yeah.
Well,
bad things are going to happen.
He cast it without using his key phrase. I don't know why he forgot. Okay. And the problem was he fumbled. And the spell fumbled, and it was ground zero on him.
Oh no!
Nine flashes.
He became a Roman candle.
He became a Roman candle, yeah. And only the one player whose character was off shopping comes back, and there's some dead Skaven, and there's this party of 4 burned to a crisp.
There's a giant hole in the ground there.
And it was all right, so we're playing D&D next week. They were enjoying Warhammer. They were having a great time with it.
You couldn't bring him back. There's nothing you could do for him. You couldn't bring him back.
That was it, man. That was it. So, get your comments in, folks.
That's a sad way.
Yes,
please comment.
The giveaway tool goes, "Oh, you commented, so you give a shit. We'll put you into the giveaway. If you don't comment, it doesn't know you're here." So
that's a sad. I've had very close. I've never ever had a TPK, but I've had skin of the teeth, and I didn't do anything to affect it. I'm just sitting back. I don't get involved in it. I let the dice roll as they are. But I've had some adventures where at the end I'm like, how many hit points everybody have? 2, 5, 3, 1. I mean, you're like, oh my god, really? Well, one more hit, we're gone. One more hit, we're dead.
Well, listen, I'll mention this quick story, and then we'll hop into the OSR Christmas. Greg allowed us to roll up our characters, so I did it on Roll20, and it was 3d6 you can arrange. That was the only give me he was giving.
I like that.
All right. So my scores, no joke, were a 14, a 13, a 13, a 12, an 11, and an 8. So I was like, holy crap, I got I got
pretty good for 396. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. I'm like,
Like
holy
I
crap!
said, you're looking at 9 to 12 is your average there, right? Yeah.
Right, but 12 is still a +1 in Shadowdark.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one score that has a -1, and I have like 4 that are +1 or +2. I was like, all right. I go, hey, hell with this. I'm gonna play a cleric, and I'm like, and I'm not gonna do dwarf because dwarf gets a bonus to hit points, and they get the advantage disadvantage on the hit die. But I was like, no, what? I'm gonna play a goblin. I want the party to be immune to surprise. I'm thinking, and then I roll hit points. One.
No.
So 1 hit point. Constitution gives
Oh
me
boy.
2. I roll money. What do I get?
A dime?
2 1s. Snake eyes. I get 20 gold pieces. I can't even afford armor.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Don't be in love with this character. I'm telling you, this
Uh,
is heartbreak. This is
but
a
I have
heartbreaker.
but I have advantage on casting the heal spell, so I get to roll my 2 dice. 2d20s when I cast the heal
It
spell.
doesn't
I'm part
matter.
of the party.
You're gonna
The
die
party.
the
I don't
first
know.
encounter.
I have to be like 10 yards away from everybody, but I'm just a heal bot. I'm just going to be the heal bot because the one thing I can probably do. All right, folks. We are going to do the giveaways now. All
Yes.
righty.
What's our prizes, Eric? Tell us our
From
lovely prizes.
your lovely prizes shown to you by this lovely male model. Ooh, ooh, ooh. From the Dice Bros. The
Oh,
Dice
Dice
Bros.
Bros. Yes.
We have two prizes from the Dice Bros. One is a PDF bundle of issues 1, 2, 3 of Wizard Funk.
Wizard
Uh,
Funk.
yeah,
Yes.
listen, I Thad and Robin, they can call it whatever they want. I don't care. It's good stuff though. So wait, I gotta before I'm about to do it, and I'm all ready. And you know what? I forgot to share the screen. I gotta share the screen for you.
Yes. There
All
you
right,
go. All right.
we got a drawing going. Now
Wizard Funk.
there's a lot of
PBS
quiet
Wizard Funk.
people. So listen, it's only kicking up 16 people, so the odds are
Uh-oh.
good. But
You
if you
guys are
want good
very
odds,
good. Wow.
all right, Wizard Funk. And if you don't see a name in this scroll, you better start commenting because
Yeah, definitely.
Tammy.
Tammy, look. This has to be a fix, man. We
Yeah,
our female audience, Eric, is literally like 3 people, and
I know, and
and
they
they
always
always
win.
win. They always win. You know.
But by the way, YouTube says my numbers are probably worse than that. But in any case,
Maybe
um,
3, probably maybe 5. My
uh,
wife's probably watching, so there's 1, and Jen usually watches.
yeah,
Yeah. You're right. It's probably
we
maybe
have
5.
OSR stickers and barrel maze patch.
Oh,
This
nice.
is
Yes.
international. All right, they will ship this anywhere in the world except probably Brazil because they steal all the mail. All right,
Greece has 2.
all right. Well, let's see who gets it. And if it's David, we got to roll again because I think David got it last. Oh, how is it?
Tabletop.
Tap.
What? They're both going to the same house.
Well, they know how to get in touch with me.
I
So.
cry foul.
All right. PDF copy of Holmes and Clark, along with a bundle of digital goodies. Holmes and Clark, by the way, it's a D&D Heartbreaker. It's an OSR clone.
Very cool.
So, who gets the OSR clone? Very clonish. JN3 Storyteller. All right. So this is where it gets tricky. Email me at tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. Put OSR Christmas Day 10 in the subject and say, hey, I won Holmes and Clark. Just makes my life so much simpler. I hate having to go back and rewatching videos because I'm not writing anything down. And Mike obviously isn't. Mike walked off to take a.
I'm sorry. It's freezing cold up here. I
I'm
had to turn the heater on.
I'm just
I had to
picking up.
turn the heater on. It's so cold upstairs. I don't know why.
All
It's not
right.
even that cold. It's like 50s, but it's freezing up here.
You Texas people.
Yeah, I know. We think that's cool.
From James Mishler Games. James is amazing. This is 12 PDFs for Shadowdark, plus his Isle of Elsidor setting for Labyrinth Lord. James's work is, again,
Really
spot on.
good.
He's been
Really
producing
good stuff. Yes.
for
Quality D
years.
and D.
This is in PDF, folks. PDF.
I need one of these. I would love to win this.
You're not allowed to.
No, I know. That's why.
Don. Well,
Don.
Don,
Yeah,
you
there
know
you
how to
go.
reach out to me.
Yep.
There you go. And last,
Oh.
not least, well, maybe least, a $10 drive-through gift certificate donated by the tavern, but because of the amazing affiliate sales that you all put into my virtual coffers, uh, let's draw who gets the
Uh-oh.
$10.
$10. That should get you a good OSR module.
Yeah,
Good OSR PDF. Yeah. Get you something good by Frog God, maybe. A
anon,
non. A
anon.
non. A must. Yes.
Oh, it's our Christmas day 10 in the subject.
Email
And say
Mr.
that
Eric Tenkar.
hey, I got the $10 gift certificate. God
Yes.
damn it! It may take me 2 or 3 days to get through this. I just finished off a bunch of emails last night, and then probably tomorrow might be busy, so might not get done until Friday. But maybe I'll get what you want. What you win? You won $10 drive-through opportunity gift certificate. Email me at I'll
Yes.
put it up on the screen because
And email you could probably get something good, or you can use that $10 towards something like, I don't know, Gillespie's Mega Dungeons, or how about Shadow Sun. Do some Shadow Sun, some
oh yeah, it's
PDFs.
$4. Shadow Sun is $4.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do with that too.
And though it's written for Shadowdark, you can run it with pretty much any OSR system.
Hmm. It's really good stuff.
Yes, again,
My
I
highest
thought you won a
recommendation.
prior one and on, but yes, winning a prior prize does not disqualify you from winning a
No,
new
not in
prize.
this world.
Sorry, gift. You
Unless
don't
you're
get
Jen
prize.
Glazer, then you're
Jen
disqualified
Jen is permabanned. She's
because she
permabanned.
wins too much. It looks suspicious. Looks like she's doing some hacking or something. That's how suspicious it gets.
I swear to
She wins
God,
so
it's like
much.
I can't believe it's not butter. But it is. So, all right. So we gave away our prizes. It's awesome. Our gifts. I can't say prize. It makes it sound like there's like a competition. There's no competition.
No.
Just how did Bill and Ted say it? Just be like really cool to each other.
Yes.
Something
Yes. There
like
you
that.
go. Which hopefully we'll see next year, but I don't think we're going to see it in D&D world. We'll have more infighting and more saying my game's the best and your game sucks, and we'll have more of the usual. We'll have more of the usual this year, but
When are we getting products written by Bad Mike? You have them at North Texas. When you go to North Texas, there's stuff that Bad Mike has.
yeah,
He
I've
got,
written some stuff.
he's written some stuff.
But Tom does all the heavy lifting. I just do the brain, and so right now I took a little break for holidays, but I have written quite a bit of B1.5, which is it's going to be called Under the Unknown, and it's going to be the lowest level underneath the castle Quasgaton of B1. So in B1 you have the regular level, you have the cavern level. This is going to be a level below that you can reach by staircase. There's a couple ways to get in, or you can go around to the back of the cliffside. There's going to be a little entrance there. It's made for low level people, but it's kind of dark and grim. It's kind of grim dark. It's more like a Conan adventure than it is a D&D. It's kind of, there's some scary idols, there's some absolute TPK rooms. There's some rooms that you should avoid because
Oh, okay.
it's not meant. Everything there is not meant to be defeated. Sometimes things must be run from. Or if you're like my party last weekend, if you have a good enough plan, you can defeat the creature. But if you're just wandering in there going, oh yeah, oh look, a giant frog god statue on top of this giant dark pool. hey, let's go swim out there and see what the hell's going on out there. No, that's not good. That's not
That's
good.
not good. All right.
Hey, there's a tomb ahead that's sealed, and we broke the seal on it, and there's a one big tomb, and there's 8 other tombs surrounding it. Let's go fuck around with that, Derek. Let's go. No, that's not going to turn out well. So yeah, so I'm working on that right now. Hopefully, I can get Tom. Tom is going to help me on that. I don't know, unfortunately, if it's going to be ready for North Texas. We have the map. But there's a lot of work that needs to go into that. We haven't got any art for it yet. We always get original art, so we use some stock art, but then the cover's always original. So I don't know. We'll see if it's out. But yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a total love letter to B1 because I even have a part where remember in B1 where you had to choose the treasure that went in the rooms and choose the monsters.
Yep.
That's going to be in here too. You're gonna. There's certain set encounters in about 3 or 4 of the rooms, but all the other rooms you can either put a monster in there or not. Just depends if you want to, and you can put whatever treasure you want in there too. So.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty flexible.
And I have a hilarious. So another thing that was great about B1 was you had these lists of hirelings you could hire, and they all had wacky names. I've got a list of hirelings with wacky names. For every character class, so it's going to be great. We are going to, it's I have a great map. I have a free Dyson map, Dyson logos map. So
Okay,
because
can't go wrong.
If he's going to put them out free, I'm going to use them. Sorry, man.
But you can also get like free Matt Jackson maps just for having.
I looked, man. I know, and I thought about because I knew kind
Gotta
of I knew the layout I wanted.
Uh-huh.
And I found this map, and it was close to the map I wanted, but it wasn't exactly. So I thought about should I hire somebody just to redraw this map, but make it the kind of the way I wanted to. And in the end, I just said, I'll just use the free map. It's going to save a month or so, probably.
Okay.
A
Well,
few
like I
weeks
said,
or whatever.
like Matt Jackson, if you know Matt, you could reach out to Matt and say, "Hey, Matt, any of your maps available?" He'll be like, "Pick one." If
Yep.
you might be able to find something that's.
Yeah, I think B1 worked good. So B1, so if you've ever played B1, it's a really interesting adventure. I really like it a lot. Um, I've always loved the atmosphere of B1 because it's this abandoned wizard/warrior lair. They've been gone for years. You don't know where they're at, and it's just abandoned. There's nothing. There's these random monsters running around there, but there's nothing has made an actual home of this place. And so really, it's all about in Search for the Unknown. It's all about exploring. And there's some classic things. There's the room of pools. There's all these pools of liquid. There's the mushroom, the fungus room. There's just some really good set pieces in here. There's tons of places you can go to where you can find like a room that has like 60 barrels in there, and there's a chart where you get to roll in all the barrels, which I love that kind of stuff, and see what's in each barrel. I mean, so yeah, I think Shadowdark would work really, really good with B1.
Very nice, very nice.
Especially since Shadowdark is it's more kind of a grim dark type thing, and I think it would work definitely. Yeah,
oh,
B10's a great module too, but B10's an excellent.
B10's actually very nice.
Yeah.
So quick things, which I know I've mentioned elsewhere, but I figure I should mention it here. What I'm going to be doing in 2024 is taking shorts out of like videos and live streams and like putting out like 40-second, 57 clips of what I think is some of the best material. But also from the live streams, especially when we have guests on, I'm going to try to find pieces that are 5 to 10 minutes long that can be pulled out and published separately because we want to get more people involved in these live streams. And a lot of times people get like, "Oh my God, I can't do a live." They're on there for like 90 minutes or something like that, and I want to give them the highlights and let them see some of the amazing stuff that we do, some of the conversations we have with our guests.
I like it.
Also, the fireside chats should start recording maybe next week. I was hoping this week, but with Rachel's radiation session still going on this week, it just kind of throws the days off. But I have people already confirming that they are happy to do so. These fireside chats are going to be
Oh,
one-on-ones that will last 10 to 20 minutes a piece.
very cool.
This way, when we bring guests on, we hang out, we go all over the place. But I'm going to be asking people like, how did you get into the hobby? How did you get into creation? Whether they are a YouTuber or a publisher or an artist or a writer or a self-publisher, how did they go from being a gamer to being a creator? So James Raggy has said yes. I just gotta get a date for that.
Mr.
Uh,
Raggy, very
Mr.
good.
Raggy.
By the
Uh,
way, have you seen his new his videos and his new posts?
I haven't
He's
seen the latest one.
he's promising 2024 is going to be a badass year. He's promising this.
I would expect it to be.
He
I
says he
think
doesn't care about what people think about him anymore. He's going to go full craziness, and it's going to be nuts. This
I will insist that Raggy appears clothed in, but it'll be in Greg Christopher themed pajamas, maybe
nice.
something like that. It'll be a smoking jacket. Wenger has agreed.
What?
Yep, I'm gonna have Wenger on.
No, you must be you must love to be yelled at by the gaming community.
Oh,
Because
they fucking yell at me anyway, all right? They go,
yeah.
I should probably invite Zach Smith, but then I'd actually be tempted to piss on him. That ain't happening. I'm sorry. If people suggested it, I can't. The personal animosity between the two of us will come through like a hot knife on butter. It would not be good. But I'm also going to try to bring in, by the way, Mike, and this includes you and Tom and Don and Greg and every. Oh, I want to bring in people that are on our live streams as co-hosts, and don't just have them as a co-host. Bring them back as a guest, and find out from Mike, how did you get into the hobby? Find out from Mike, how did you get into running North Texas?
They're interested in how I did stuff.
Oh, I
But
think
I mean, I love to hear myself talk. So yeah, I'm not going to.
No, yeah, come on.
My ego is so huge. I would love to hear myself talk, but yeah, I just don't think it's that
I'm
interesting.
listen. I'm aiming for a fireside chat a week at the very least, and a year of it. So we're hoping to get 52 now. Here's where people are going to go. Oh, you fuck. So the fireside chats are going to be members only for the first week. So if you have a paid membership, you pay your $1.99, you get it right away. But after a week, it just goes public. But this way, it's a little perk. This is what you're doing. This is how you're supporting. And remember, the money that we raise on the YouTube, if Mike's headset continues to be the headset from hell, we replace it.
Yeah, it sucks.
So
we need to replace it. Yes, definitely.
See, Mike, maybe you need like
I super glued one of the ears on. One of the ears fell off the other day, and I super glued it on.
Okay.
So, yeah,
maybe you need like a nice microphone, and maybe you.
Hey, that would be very professional looking. That would be awesomely professional.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna put that on the Mike's post Christmas list.
Well, I think I deserve that. Yes, definitely.
But this
it would help the show. Whatever helps the show, I'm just there. I'm there to help the show. Whatever helps the show, I'm there.
Actually, I have a graphic. So just so Mr. Gunn knows, when I do the fireside chats, there will be flames behind us, and they're gonna move. There'll be motion flames.
Nice.
See now,
Man, this is a heady proposition here.
Well, somebody's got to. Well, if I could remember how to show it, I'd show it now. Hold on.
Like you didn't already have enough stuff going on in your life. You had to add something else for 2024.
Yeah, I did. There. So this will be for the fireside chats. This will be what we have going on behind us.
Ooh, okay. Nice little warm fire. Nice. I like it.
If I could get a little crackling sound, maybe I'll find a way to add that, post recording.
Maybe we could burn some D&D books in the background or something, or no?
No. Well, 4E. We can burn some 4E books. How about that?
How about some WotC stuff? Let's burn some.
Oh, listen. As pissed off as WotC can make me, and we know they can really piss me off. We do owe them,
Uh,
at least the prior generation, for the SRD 3.1 or
yes.
3.5, the original OGL. We even owe them for the 5.0 SRD, which they did not want to give. Remember that, folks.
No.
Okay, that was a huge, huge deal.
Hmm.
What did they give us instead of the OGL, Mike? Do you remember?
No, I don't know. I do not.
They
What
gave
are,
you the basic rules.
oh, that's right. Yes.
The free basic rules, the only version of D and
And
D
nobody knew.
5e.
Yeah, nobody knew what was going to happen back then too. That was just all really up
Yeah,
in the air. So.
but the basic rules, because listen, this is what the suits, and I heard this from people who heard it directly from the suits. The suits at WotC believed that the
Mhm.
only reason why the community wanted a system resource document, an SRD, was so they could play D&D for free.
I
So that's
understand.
why
I
they
mean,
gave the basic
they're
rules.
paranoid enough to believe that. I understand why. Whoa, hello. Because that's
Thraxis, um, email email me with the day if you remember the day of OSR Christmas, because I need to know what you're getting. So email me with the day and is it physical? There's there's been so many. If I'm giving away like on average like 6 or 7 gifts a day, I've given away 70, so I don't know who's
yeah.
supposed to
It's
what.
hard
But
to
I've
keep
gone through all
track.
the emails. So if I miss something, one guy, listen, I tell people put OSR Christmas in the subject so it doesn't get caught in spam. Google still found put one person in the spam, and I had to find it.
Oof.
I found it like a week later, so that could be the issue too. But reach out to me. I'll get to it hopefully by Friday. Tomorrow, I already know is shot, but hopefully by Friday I can get to the emails and hopefully have an answer. No need to practice again. I'm not sure which one it is. Um,
I don't have my.
I've
Oh,
been,
maybe I
I've
have
been
my.
I've been bouncing numerous emails.
Yeah, I don't hit some on my list. It's probably not one of my shows. I can't see it.
Yeah, now
No, I
it
don't see
could
it.
be from again. There, it could be there was an email chain that was going on back and forth, and I lost track of it because everything looks like a red email at some point. So that might be it too. So just send me a new email again and remind me what we're talking about. Because although I may occasionally look smart, I, I'm like the idiot savant when it comes to some of this stuff. Um, Joey Royal.
I've heard this
A
guy.
heavy metal version of Mr. Rogers for the RPG hobby.
He does DCC stuff. Yeah,
All right, well,
interesting.
that's
I
an
mean,
interesting one.
by the way, possible future guests. We don't have a lot on our plate right now, so I'm going to start throwing the net out there next week, and we'll see if we can start setting some people up for 2024. But we don't have a real agenda this year. Actually, we never have an agenda. We definitely don't have an agenda. There's people I'd like to see back, like to see on the show that we had last year, or the people I'd like to see on the show this year that we haven't had before. So we'll try some of those people. But yeah, it's just going to be all over the place. I tell you what, I'd love to get Mike Morrill on the show and have him talk about it. See how much he could actually tell us about WotC
Yeah.
before he has to.
Uh,
Uh,
Thraxis, if it was from 12/22, I should have gotten to it. So I will look at the email that you just forwarded to me and figure it out. If I
so,
can,
Mister
I'll
Gunn,
do it tonight.
when is North Texas this year? North Texas is the second weekend in June,
What?
not the first weekend. It's the second weekend in June because it's always the first Thursday in June. So this year, the first Thursday is the second week, so it's the second weekend in June,
Oh,
not the
okay.
first weekend in June. And our special guest list is ready to roll. It will be released this week, I believe. Yes, I think it this week. So we got some really interesting names on there. We're every year we try to do some different stuff. We always have a lot of the same people, but we also try to overturn or try to roll over about 1/3 of our guests to new people, and sometimes we have older people back. Like this year, we have somebody that came 2 years ago that didn't come last year that's going to come in this year. So we try to kind of vary it up every year. Just put some
Right.
new people in there. So we've got some. I think we've got some pretty good guests. We got a lot of the same guys and some new guys. So yeah, I don't know when that guest list is coming out, but it should be this week. So. And by the way, we're having a game day at the Westin the last weekend of January. If you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area and you want to come and hang out with us, please come and hang out with us. All the information is on the North Texas RPG Con page.
Ooh, fun times, fun.
Should be fun.
Tammy, yes. God, was it David Hand? I have his contact info. Yes, I'd like to bring him back. It was really good, and I'd like to find out how he got into the hobby and how he got into moving over
Down under.
to using
What is
it.
down? What is down under? Oh,
Australia.
that guy from down under. The guy from down under. Okay, I thought it was a game company. Okay,
Not
from
the guy
Australia.
from down under.
Whoever wrote the
Although,
book of this therapy of using RPGs, RPGs was a way of doing therapy way back in the '70s, even. Because I remember that was I had a friend that was worried about me because he was a psychologist. He said, I'm worried that you're playing RPGs because we use that as a tool in therapy. Blah blah. I was like, no, it's not like that. We're not sharing
it's at the
words.
same time of role playing game. Yeah.
I'm playing a hobbit who wants to kill somebody. So no, we're not really doing that the way
I'm a
you think
murder
it is.
hobo that doesn't do actual murders.
Only murders in my imagination. Yes.
It's very good. Yeah, 6th to the 9th, I believe. I don't have a. Oh, I could do my calendar. I guess I could the app. I could verify exactly. 6th to the 9th, yes, which means that I will show up on the 5th and leave on the 10th.
Oh, that's great. Yes, always.
Well, you do have the was it the pre-con get it on?
Right. That's Wednesday. The first Wednesday or the Wednesday right before the con, we always have a big party. Everybody's invited. You don't even have to buy tickets to the convention. You can just show up and hang out if you want to.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our way of introducing the con to people who don't know the con. So
It's like I do. I'm always there on Wednesday. I don't game on Wednesday. I'm just there to socialize and see everybody else who gets there the day earlier, which
makes
is
sense.
most of my good friends. And it's a great way to catch up and relax and bond with people because, the busy days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, everybody's leaving, which is why I leave on Monday. So I can avoid that mad rush. And we're all in a murder hobo in our own mind, Anon.
Hmm?
We all are.
And a little, yeah, we all lean that way. Some days or
Yeah.
another. I will say that. So the group I'm running right now, they're really getting into the role playing aspect of playing a party of all dwarves, and they are doing a really good job of not murder hoboing because they realize they have a reputation they have to uphold, blah blah. They have so it's fun. I like playing a group that has a common goal, and it's not just like, okay, here's an elven fighter, a halfling thief, a human wizard, a half elf fighter thief. You just like, okay, what are these guys even doing together? It makes no sense, and then you have to try to figure out some overarching reason these totally. Why is the half orc fighter hanging out with the elven mage? And I do like the fact that we just did a whole dwarf party this time. So everybody's dwarves. They're all dwarves. They're all family. They're all like
You got a dwarven mage?
no. Now that's the one thing. So since there's no dwarven mages, the city that they run out of, the town they run out of, they hire out mages. So Mages Guild there, they hire out mages to you guys from levels 1st to 3. And so every day before they go in the dungeon, they hire like four. They hire like 4 or 5 mages. I mean, like first level guys. At least if you have a sleep spell, you can come along. They
Right.
have a really good track record. They haven't lost one mage yet, so that their track record's pretty good. They basically go, look, just cast your one spell, then you run in the back and use your sling or use your darts or whatever. So They get a bunch of first level magic users that all have sleep or something, and they just have them throw their spells and they run to big combat. And they all run to the back. So two of the NPCs are third level now. They've actually adventured quite a bit with the game. So
Wow.
they're third level, and they have second level spells now. But yeah, that's the one thing they can't get is mages. And by the way, you realize how important low level mages are to the success of a D&D party, especially if you have the spell sleep,
Yep.
or to a lesser extent maybe a spell color spray or charm person. But sleep is essential for a low level party to have. And so going in as just dwarf fighters, they were saved so much so much combat by having the higher thing mages cast sleep, before big battle.
Now,
Um,
are you using 2E or 1E?
2E.
So you have dwarven clerics, I guess.
Yes, there's two clerics in the party. They're both dwarven clerics. There's a dwarven paladin, which is
Okay.
kind of cool, and everybody else there's the dwarven ranger, a dwarven thief, a dwarven fighter fighter cleric. Two of the players, one player is playing a human mage, and one character is playing an elven thief. So that's kind of cool.
Nice. Hey,
So yeah,
Thrax
it
is
works out.
going to try to run some Shadowdark this month at the game day.
Oh, good deal. Yeah, you're going to be there. That would be awesome. I think Shadowdark would be a huge hit at North Texas, and I think the game day would be a huge hit too. So yes,
Very
get those play tests in. I would love to play test. I'm kind of stuck. I want to run. I want to run Divine Right because I promised people I would. But man, I would love to also run a play test of my B1.5. So I'm gonna have to decide which ones. Maybe I'll run one on Friday. I'll run the B1.5 Friday night and run Divine Right all day Saturday because Divine Right's going to take about 6 or 7 hours to play at least. So
oof.
it moves very slow. It's a very slow war game slash board game, but it's really good. Really, really good stuff.
Colonel, you're going to enjoy your Shadowdark book when you get it. Trust me. Mike and I are enjoying very much.
Beautiful. It's
Very
a
much so.
beautiful book. Yeah, beautiful book.
So, going to just remind folks in a week and a half, a week from this coming Friday, Greg Christopher, who's been here as what Vauban 666. Greg is going to be running Shadowdark for the Random Party Generator group of miscreants,
Oh, it's going to be good. That's going to be good.
and
Last time
Kelsey.
we ran it, that show was a great show. That show was
Yeah,
great.
Kelsey has been kind enough to refer people to our videos. We have two, one with Greg
Very nice.
running and one with Matt Jackson running, to see how Shadowdark is played. So that is a huge compliment. And
Mm-hmm.
as Greg will know, because I've been saying this since I've known Greg, and Greg and I became friends right before the D&D Next 5th edition beta testing. My
Uh-huh.
God, it's been that long. I always swore I would never, ever put my gaming group up on YouTube for people to see because no good could happen.
It's a
Uh,
safety issue. Yes.
yeah. But you know what? It was a fucking, both of those sessions were a fucking blast. It was a
Well,
fucking
he
blast.
says, promised a great show. I have a killer adventure prepared. I love it.
Well, I only have 2 hit points, Greg. So yeah, I'm sure you're going to be a killer DM. You fuck.
So who's playing? Is Rob playing too?
Rob's playing. Joe,
Joe. Okay.
Tim, myself,
Oh, what a great group! Yeah.
Maybe Matt, maybe Matt. I
What a
say
great
again,
group.
maybe Matt. You
You
know,
guys should be able to take anything thrown at you. Then I hope
I
he's
got
making
I
this
got
tough. I
two
hope
hit
he's
points
making it tough.
and no armor for my. I'll be using a club. I'll be the
Wait. Are
home.
you a spellcaster? Are you a spellcaster? Or you're not a fighter,
I'm a
are you?
cleric. I'm a cleric.
Oh, there. You're fine. You just stay back and heal people. You'll be great.
Yeah, that's my specialty. Let Mike play with us. I was throwing it
I
out
could.
there.
I don't know if I'm not doing anything. I can pop in. We'll see. I mean, it sounds fun. I would love it.
You know the people. Listen, if you're gonna fit in with a group of miscreants, this is the group of miscreants.
Whatever I do, though, Rob will tell me I'm doing it wrong.
He tells everybody that.
Rob will like, no, Mike, you're doing it wrong.
Mike, you forgot to carry the ale and subtract the beer. Put it in the proper receptacle. I was like, oh God. Show and tell, Rob. Show and tell.
One of the funniest sessions I ever ran was my brother Rob was in it, and they were randomly rolling up characters. I think it was B1. We were running through a B1 session, and his character's intelligence was like 4. I mean, he rolled terrible, like 4 or 5, and so he determined he was just an idiot. He was an absolute moron, and so he rolled randomly on the chart of equipment just to see what he would get, because he was that stupid. And so he had like a wagon wheel, a whip. I mean, but we, once again, the OSR comes through. We had a blast. We were laughing so hard during that game. But yeah, because he just had random items. Oh, and he also got a cat. He got a cat too.
Okay, nice.
So he's got a wagon wheel strapped to his back for no reason. A cat in his arm. He's walking through the dungeon with a cat. And the cat helped because the first combat they came to with orcs, he threw the cat at the orc's face. And it distracted the orc enough where they killed the orc, and then the cat ran off into the dungeon. And they're like, oh, kitty here, kitty. I go, no, that cat is not coming back to you. He is not going to come back. You threw him at an orc. He is not, no, he's gone. He's going to find a nice little hidey hole somewhere in the dungeon and kill rats and have a wonderful life because you tried to screw him over by throwing him at an orc.
There you go.
But see, now that's the kind of stuff I like. So I may, if I have a low ability, I may just put that in intelligence just so I can play a character like that.
Fair enough.
Get like a 4 or 5, be just really stupid.
How stupid I am.
So sometimes being stupid can be fun too, because you don't have to pretend like you. Like the worst thing is when you're playing D&D Adventure, and you have to play somebody dumber than you or smarter than you. Because first of all, it's impossible to play somebody smarter than you unless you just roll dice and say, well, I don't really know what that is, but my character has an 18 intelligence, because it's true. If your character has 18 intelligence, he probably would know the solution to this and this. Right. So that's actually probably easier to, that's probably harder to play than you would think, because you're like, I don't know if this is going to work out or not. But playing somebody stupid can be terrible too, because you're like, oh, I know the answer to that. I can't say anything because my character's really, really dumb. He really wouldn't know the answer to that. So,
yeah,
having a lot of great available characters. Yeah, I agree, Greg. I've had some really fun things with just putting stuff on lists and just have them go, yeah, we need. One of the things they never knew they needed was handcuffs. I think the handcuffs were on a list one time, or iron manacles. I think it was iron manacles. Yep. I say handcuffs, iron manacles. They're like, oh, that could be really useful. So everybody in the party gets iron manacles, and they go through the dungeon iron manacling everything, so they can lead it around and make it fight for them, or bring drag them around or whatever. So that was a fun session. So. Yes, I do. I'm with you. I like a lot of random cool items that are just used for whatever. So it's you don't want to limit your party's imagination at all.
No. Well, Mike, shall we call this one?
Because I'm fading fast because I got up at 5 a.m. this morning for me. And now you never need sleep. Whatever I text you, it doesn't matter what it is. You text me back like a minute later. I don't know when you ever sleep. But yes, I had an early day today. It was a doctor's dentist appointment. I got a new crown in my mouth, so I got there early to get it done.
Oh, nice.
But this is I hate to cut it short because we owe everybody time, but this is just set up for this year. We don't really, we're anticipating what we're going to do this year. We're going to work on having some really good guests. I need to start hitting my phone book here. Probably some North Texas people that go to North Texas. I'm going to try to get some big names. We're going to try to get some big names this year. I'm going to see if we can get Mike Merles on here. I bet we can get Mike Merles.
Whoa!
I think I could. He's going to be a guest in North Texas this year. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes, I did. He's going to be. He has agreed to be a guest in North Texas this year. I think I can get him to come on the show. I don't know how much he's going to share with us though.
Probably he'll probably talk about everything but.
Exactly, but he's still going to be an interesting person to talk to. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, when David leaves, that's time to shut. Yeah, David's got to leave. Got to do that. Yeah, he won't tell us anything. You're right. But I mean, he's such an interesting guy. Anyway, I talked to him at GameholeCon, and yeah, he's our kind of guy. I know he did 5e, but he's our kind of guy. He likes old school stuff. He loves old school, and really, what's sad is the fact that he's leaving. Is really that's bad for the hobby and bad for D&D.
Yeah.
Because he was the guy there that was championing that the old school way of playing. And the guys they have there now are why Eric and I are hearing people who are telling us confidentially that the new game is going to blow balls. It's going to be bad because it's not anything to do with old school. It's more MCDM. Superheroes, they're going to have capes. I mean, not really capes, but they're going to be great. They never get hurt. And that's what we're going to have.
Ugh.
Because Mike Morales is not going to be there to put the brakes on that and say, no, that's not how you play old school D&D. So he was working on Magic, but he still had an impact on what they were doing. Now, not for the last year or two, which is why, by the way, everything they come up with the last year or two just sucks. Absolutely is terrible, doesn't sell, and sucks. Because I don't think Mike would have been behind Strixhaven. Oh, hey, baristas in D&D. What a great idea. That's exactly what Gary was thinking about when he came up with this game. How can we put people who serve coffee and donuts into the game and make it interesting?
Yeah,
I think that's what he was thinking, Eric. That's our 50th anniversary. You think that's what he's thinking?
Oh yeah, I this is what people want to role play, right? The job that everybody can't wait to get out of. That's what everybody wants to role play. Oh, I know, girl.
Because that's what they know. These people, it's the same thing when they write. That's why their comics are terrible in the last few years, and all the professionals have gone on to do Image and other companies that don't work for Marvel and DC anymore, because they're not writing. So there was a big not a scandal, but there was a comic book or a game shop guy who went on and made a video and said that he told writers of comics to stop putting themselves into comics and start writing superheroes, because he said these guys are all analogs for the writers, and they look like the writers. He was showing pictures of the writer.
Really?
Yes, they're inserting themselves in the story. He said it's not about you, it's about superheroes. And then Mark Miller, who's a real famous comic book writer and also does movies and works for Netflix also, he had him on his show, and he explained it a little more, and basically said, yeah, the problem with low sales in comic books now is these guys are not writing heroic characters or writing themselves in books. I think that's what's happening with D&D. I don't think they're not writing the kind of D&D that we like, Eric. They're putting themselves into the story. And so when they sit there and go, what do I think is cool? I think Starbucks is cool.
Oh man, I love Starbucks.
I think a magic school like Harry Potter is cool. Because I'm a Harry Potter nerd. I love Harry Potter. That they're putting in stuff that they like, not stuff, or that they think we like, not stuff we actually like. So
interesting. You could almost say that was what killed 2E, was too many settings and not enough of a focus and a direction. Right. All over the place. That's kind of what
somebody that I talked to said. The problem with 2E was when they created all these different worlds, they were competing against themselves. They weren't saying, come play Planescape instead of Warhammer, or come play Ravenloft or whatever. No, they were saying, play Planescape instead of Ravenloft. Play Ravenloft instead of Forgotten Realms. And all they did was cannibalize their own audience with all these different game worlds. Because at one point you had Greyhawk, Forgotten Realms, Spelljammer, Ravenloft, Planescape, Dark Sun, Birthright, Alquademe. Did I miss anything? I think that's
I
about. I mean,
don't.
yeah, they're all cannibalizing each other. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not going out and saying, no, no, this is you play this instead of fill in the blank. No, it's you play this instead of Ravenloft. You play this instead of Birthright.
Right.
So, yes.
Don, I don't think your daughter is going to make a career out of being a manager at Starbucks. Maybe a divisional manager, maybe a regional manager if she really, that it's good. You learn responsibility. And I did 8.5 years in retail, and for a while I was like, I could become a manager. And I
Yeah.
interviewed for the position, and I got the position, the department manager, and they gave me my offer. And I looked at the offer. I said, I told the guy, I go, I've been with the company for 6 years. I sell electronics. I make this salary
Mm.
on straight time
Oof.
without having to stay late and work 60-hour, 70-hour weeks in December. Um, so thank you, but no thank you. And he was like, but it's a good experience. I go,
Yeah, I
if
love that
that's
one.
what I'm looking forward to, I think I need a different experience.
It's like the artists. They go, don't do this for the money. Do it for exposure because every artist has to be killing for exposure. No, they don't. They need to make money too, friends. They don't. They're not doing stuff for free for exposure. No. Do
No.
not be the person that asks an artist to do something for free for exposure. That's the worst
Here,
thing you can do.
I'll expose myself to you. What do you give me? Absolutely not.
Uh,
I'll give a phone. I'll give a call to 911. Okay, how's that sound?
I get free coffee, so I'm not griping. Ooh, free coffee. I didn't think about that. Well, when my grandson worked at Whataburger, I didn't get free Whataburger. I got discounted Whataburger, which is awesome.
Okay,
Yeah, that
good.
was good. Yeah.
All right, folks. On this note, we are going to wrap this
We're done.
show up.
First show of the
Um,
year in the books.
in the books. As usual, be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Remember, we're going to probably be putting out more videos than ever. So if you like what we
Wow.
do, become a member.
Please,
It's a buck 99 a
please,
month.
please donate money to the Ben
Yeah, go
Shields
ahead.
Fund.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah.
tankcars-tavern.games/Ben. And if you find yourself in need, if you have thoughts that are scaring you or scaring your family, um, have pound 988. Okay, it's the suicide hotline number. All right,
Mhm.
there's no shame. Okay, there's no judgment. All right,
We don't want to
folks.
lose you guys. Definitely. See you later.
We'll catch you
But
all
later.
later. Be good.
Later.